Welcome to BaseballGuys.com on Around the Horn. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. Yep, there's a lot going on in baseball right now. Obviously, the trade market is the big topic with less than 10 days till the trade deadline officially comes here. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about a bunch of players that could be on the move. I'm going to focus on one player or a couple of players that have been moved. And one of those players that we thought was moved but maybe hasn't been moved is Ryan Dempster of the Cubs. Now, Dempster's a 10-year veteran. He's had 5 years with the Cubs. Because of that fact, he can give the thumbs up or thumbs down to any trade. Now, he apparently told the Cubbies that he would accept the trade if it was the team that had a chance to win and all this kind of stuff. So the Cubs worked out a deal to trade Dempster to the Braves, a team that obviously has a chance to win. In exchange, the Cubs would get back some cash and youngster Randall Delgado on the hill. Now, what did Dempster do when he heard this news? He apparently wasn't very pleased because the reports broke in the press. Everyone was reporting it as a fact. And apparently the Cubs hadn't contacted Dempster to actually talk to him about that, so he felt a little bit slighted. We're still waiting right now. Estimates ranging everywhere from there's no way this gets done to 50-50 to 75%. I think the deal gets done, ultimately. I don't know if that's, anything other than just my supposition, but an older player like Dempster, 35 years old, heading into free agency, would look great on his resume to say, hey, I helped the team, make the playoffs. Maybe even the Braves would sign him long term. I think he ends up there. We have to wait to see. What are they getting if the Braves do get Dempster? They're getting the guy who leads baseball with a 2.11 ERA. Now, it's deserved. I don't think it's really deserved, and I could break down a lot of numbers to try to explain things to you, but here's the bottom line. In each of the last 4 seasons, the xFIP, which again is that ERA number that's basically normalized to a league average for the home run ratios, and also takes into account what the pitcher can actually control. That number has been 3.69 to 3.74 each of the last 4 years. Amazing consistency each of those last 4 years for Dempster. What is it this year? 3.74. Despite that 2.11 ERA, his skills have not changed that much from the pitcher we've seen the last 4 years. Dempster will be very good no matter where he's pitching. Don't expect him to continue to remain elite. Ichiro Suzuki at one point was the elitist of the elite. He did everything. 200 plus hits, 100 runs, stealing bases, hitting 350. He's obviously not that player anymore, but the Mariners made a decision. They weren't going to sign Ichiro at the end of the year. They didn't want to face a backlash from their fans wondering why it is. So they traded Ichiro Suzuki right now to the Yankees. Didn't get much of anything actually in return that's noteworthy. But they give Ichiro a chance to win. They get a little bit in return for his services. And now we'll have to wait and see how the Great One plays with the Yankees. He's playing right field right now because Nick Swisher is hurt. But the assumption is when Swisher's hip is better, we'll see Ichiro go over to left field. He hit 8 the first game with the Yankees, and that's obviously a concern. Spent all of his career at the top of the order for the Mariners, dropping down. Going to lose a lot of at-bats, but I would not be at all surprised if Ichiro does some really nice things here and the rest of the way for the Yankees. He's a proud veteran. He'll be reinvigorated by the energy of New York. He'll get a chance to make the playoffs. And Ichiro Suzuki still got a little bit of game left in him. Here's one odd fact. Despite the fact his batting average is way down, he actually has right now the highest line drive rate he has ever had, which is very, very surprising. I know he hits all these balls on the ground and everything, but the highest line drive rate of his entire career right now, 23%, mid-23.5%, I think, was the best number Ichiro ever had. It's 26% right now. If he keeps hitting the ball like that, that batting average is going to go up a little bit, and so will that batting average of balls in play that is literally 70 points below his career mark, despite all those line drives. Anibal Sanchez, Omar Infante, gone from the Marlins. Where do they go? They go to Detroit, and in return, Detroit gets the youngster, Jacob Turner. Let's start with Turner. 21-year-old, he'll go down to AAA and get some more seasoning. Bright future for Turner. First-round draft pick. Everyone looks at Turner and thinks top of the rotation arm. A athletic guy who's got a repeatable delivery, great mechanics, knows how to pitch. Jacob Turner one day should be a stud pitcher for that club in Miami. Looking to get a little bit younger and I guess save a few bucks. All kinds of rumors they might trade Hanley Ramirez. He fell on and on and on. Marlins continuing to tinker with that roster. The Tigers, 2 parts to get back. They get Sanchez. Going from the National League to the American League is a bit of a challenge. There'll be some issues there for Sanchez to deal with, obviously, the DH. The ballpark's not one that favors hitters in Detroit, so that shouldn't be much of an issue. Sanchez, since the start of last season, has basically been a strikeout per inning pitcher. He's got a 1.27 whip in that time. His ERA is in the 3.8. I would expect more of the same from Sanchez now that he's with the Tigers. In terms of Infante, started out on fire, blazing on fire in the month of April. Last 3 months, 3 home runs. Last 41 games, hitting .256. Now, they're not getting a guy who's going in the right direction right now, the Tigers, but they're getting a player who's a veteran, who's hitting 287 this year, who's a 276 career hitter, a guy who plays solid defense and will solidify second base and give him a professional at bat. If Infante hits at the top of the order, if he's hitting second in front of Cabrera and Fielder, he could have a nice run to the finish line. Colby Lewis, not going to make the finish line. Yeah, he had a torn flexor tendon in his elbow. He's going to have surgery. 9 to 12 months is kind of the estimate, ruining what was a great season for Lewis. 3.48 ERA, a whip under 1.1. He had walked 14 batters in 16 starts for the Rangers. The Rangers will go with Martin Perez right now, the rookie. There's a debate about what the team's going to do now with the rotation. Are they going to make a trade? Are they going to do something else? Royals looked at the back issue that he thinks he can overcome, but there's concern there after missing his last start. And Naftali Feliz is being stretched out in the minors. Looks like he might get a chance to start. Looks like Alexia Gondo might get a chance to start. A lot of things need to be decided there with the Rangers pitching staff. I'm all over the place today. Justin Smoak. Well, I gave away what I was going to say. The punchline was supposed to be, when does a player lead his team in home runs and is second in RBIs and gets sent to the minor leagues? Well, it's when you're Justin Smoak of the Mariners. Yes, he is leading the team with 13 home runs. Yes, he is second with 38 RBIs. But Justin Smoak also has an OPS of 573 and a batting average under 200. Demoted to the minor leagues with Smoak. He's being sent to AAA, and it's about time to call this guy a total bust. First round draft pick in 2008 has done nothing. 313 games in the big leagues, hitting 215, an on-base percentage of 297, a slugging percentage of 365. This guy was supposed to be the next Mark Teixeira. He's not even the next Alvin Davis. Really kind of a career crossroads for Justin Smoak. Things are not going in the right direction right now. Roy Halladay, things aren't going in the right direction with him either. First start back from the disabled list looked pretty good. Last night, not so much. 8 hits allowed, 6 runs in 6 innings. The velocity was down a little bit. I expect him to figure it out and be a solid pitcher. But like I've said all along when it comes to Mr. Halladay, be careful with him. Don't expect the elite level pitcher that we saw last season. He just hasn't been that guy in 2012. And then finally, 2 pitchers who have been elite, even if you may not consider them elite. Jordan Zimmerman, and Ryan Vogelsong. 2.26 ERA for Mr. Vogelsong. 2.31 for Mr. Zimmerman. 9 of 10 starts for Vogelsong. He's got at least 7 innings. Every one of the 20 starts he's made this season, Zimmerman has gone 6 innings. Of late, 15 straight quality starts for Mr. Vogelsong. Oh, it's only 10 in a row for Zimmerman, but 18 of the 20 times this year he's taken the hill, he's thrown a quality start at you. Zimmerman, Vogelsong, borderline elite. Neither one of them really strikes out enough guys to be considered elite in the fantasy game, and the win-loss records for both of them are not great because the teams haven't supported them. But these guys, rock solid. Every time out there, you know what you're getting. You're getting a minimum of a quality start, and sometimes even more than that. I'm Ray Flowers, BaseballGuys.com. I need a drink. Talk to y'all again soon.